So I'm not quite sure if this story has made it to the United States yet, but in Canada it is pretty big. There's a lot of outrage over this. The other day, a man named Raymond Cormier was found not guilty of the murder of 15-year-old Tina Fontaine. There's a lot of cries of racism and how it's a broken system, but the reason why he was found not guilty is because there was no forensic evidence to tie him to her murder. Now, there's again a cries of racism going all around, and I'm going to pull up the article because a Canadian mayor is also saying this. Everyone must confront the shame and tragedy of our country's racism, Winnipeg mayor, which is fantastic. We all failed Tina. After the verdict, Mayor Brian Bowman's office issued a statement declaring we all failed Tina and challenged Canadians to do better. Winnipeggers and Canadians may have differing views on today's outcome in this case. I think it is important, however, to be mindful that for many people, today is a day marked by grief, anger, and broken hearts, Bowman said in the statement. Now, where do I start? Nothing about this case has anything to do with racism. There's not even any evidence that racism was the reason why she was killed. The dude that was found not guilty, a lot of people want him to be, and this is very similar to the Boushie case, the outcome of that from a while ago, like I think a week or two, where, what was his name? I know his last name was Stanley, I believe. Anyway, Mr. Stanley was found not guilty of the murder of an Aboriginal man who had previously, before breaking onto his property, had attempted to or successfully broke into another truck on another property with his passengers before making their way over to Mr. Stanley's farm, where one of his passengers attempted to steal a quad, which is what alerted Mr. Stanley of their presence, to begin with. Anyways, Mr. Stanley claims he accidentally shot and killed Mr. Boushie when trying to get him and his friends off of his property, and there was cries of racism over that as well. But really, this has nothing to do with racism at all, and I think people need to stop playing this card of how everything is racist. You know, when someone's not guilty of someone, or they're found not guilty of a crime or an alleged crime, you can't go screaming racism and trying to pull the race card and trying to act like this is the only answer, when in reality it's not. In Tina's case, it's very, very unfortunate, and it does suck, and it's very sad that she was murdered and the way she was, and thrown away like garbage. But if you truly, truly want justice for this girl, then you would want to convict the right person. Stop trying to put the blame on someone who is clearly innocent, and instead of focusing your anger towards the person who was found innocent, instead of saying things like you won't get away with this, maybe put your time and energy into trying to find the right person who actually murdered her, because you're not going to get anywhere if you're just solely focusing on someone who is found not guilty of a really horrible crime. I don't know really what else to say. I don't really make much videos. I might continue doing this in the future, so this is just a really short one. But yeah.